update at 50 past the hour. Well, we certainly hope that you are having a good Wednesday. Of course, this is the peak of hurricane season, as a lot of people know, or maybe don't know. Actually, mid-September, here we go. We've reached the peak, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we could have more storms, even with Nadine on our hands.
Already up to N right now.
I know.
Up to D is where we were just in 1960. Let's look back on this day in weather history and show you what we're talking about. It was a wicked storm. September 12th, 1960, Hurricane Donna made landfall on central Long Island and tracked through New England. Wind gusts reached 140 miles per hour. This was the first hurricane ever to affect every point along the eastern seaboard from Key West, Florida to Caribou, Maine.
And we, of course, would love for you to get involved with this segment. Send us a moment in weather history that maybe you experienced or remember the most. And, of course, try to give us a little insight why. And you can hit us up on Facebook or Twitter. All you have to do is use the hashtag DPWX Weather History, which stands for Day Planner Weather History. Well, a guy who's always on top of the history books, as you know, is our own Mark Elliott.
That's right. Looking at a little fall color out there, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely, and in some places a little bit earlier than what you might have expected. There's some of that aspen gold, famous across the Rockies, returning into that kind of gold color. And yet, here's another one of those aspen trees with that perfect yellow. And so, we'll get into the science behind why these leaves start changing. We get those great colors in the fall. It's all about how the leaves actually start to make photosynthesis and make sugars for the plant to live. So normally they have food for energy using photosynthesis. That's that green color in the leaves. It's chlorophyll. It absorbs the sun. So it helps them absorb the sunlight and change it over to sugar. But as the fall comes in and those nights get longer, the leaf stops producing that chlorophyll. And so the tree starts to rest. It lives off that stored food. But before that can happen, well, you have to get that photosynthesis to stop. And the chlorophyll fades out. So that means the green colors will fade out as well. You start seeing the yellows and the oranges. Those are the carotenoids. The reds will kick in, and that's a different chemical. The anthocyanins will show up with the reds and the purples. Now, you can also get a typical burn scar when there's a drought, and so even in areas that have seen enough rain, you still have to have the perfect weather in order to get the right color.
The other thing we'd like to see are temperatures that are consistently falling but not dropping too fast. In other words, it's a cool day, but then not followed by the next day falling into the freezing temperatures. By the same token, we don't want to see temperatures rising too fast. So consistency is really what we'd like to see.
Yeah, and here, again, these are your normal peaks for fall color, and they start off basically now across the higher mountains in the northeast corridor, those deep reds, mid to late September, and we're starting to see that a little bit already. Into the southeast, it takes much longer. Those yellows and the light oranges there, late October into early November. The Ohio Valley generally starts off in mid-October, but once you get up towards the Great Lakes, you're already starting to see some of those colors, and of course in the higher elevations out west, you can see those colors quite early. And we have more coverage on weather.com about the fall colors. You can see what to expect in fall according to the experts. You can also scroll over, get into this story about the fall colors arriving early, and see some amazing photos that you're already sending in. Nick, over to you.
Well, next on Day Planner, we're tracking storms from the Mississippi Valley to the southern Rockies. Find out who might see some severe weather and who's already seeing some flooding. And how much longer will you feel those cool fall-like temperatures? We'll have details on that ahead. Stay with us for more here, right on Day Planner.